Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. So, beautiful morning here, Monday, September 30th. And you know what? The leaves are changing. And what's so peaceful, I was up having my coffee here this morning and just sitting on my deck and listening. And you could hear all the little animals scurrying around because of the leaves. And so when we I looked over there, I see rabbits and of course squirrels, and then over to back there to the left, uh, a whole group of wild turkey, and then beyond over there, I see two doves, and a bit further, an actual buck too. So that was interesting. You usually see doves here, um, so it's great. It's great being up here, and especially this time of year. So, all right, getting right into it. I was listening to um, uh, not a quite recent podcast with Eric Weinstein when he had Werner Herzog on, because it's like 2 months old. Um, and at the end of the interview, Eric Weinstein asked Werner, um, "What what is most important for you um, in life in terms of like Werner Herzog, perhaps one of the greatest documentary film, just film in general, not just documentary, he does both, but perhaps most influential, considered the greatest, absolutely iconic." And he says, well, I was kind of surprised his response. He goes, well, two things. Number one is reading. The most important thing I do is reading. I see younger filmmakers, and yeah, they get out of college and they did all the work when they were in school, but they stopped the reading. I go, reading is a lifetime thing, a lifetime venture. You read, read, read. He sets out time. His reading time is so important. He starts out in the morning before he goes to bed. Never stops reading, and I guess Werner is in his 70s now, and uh, has never stopped. So, and the second thing I thought was interesting, I'll talk about this another time, but he says walking. And I go, what? Walking? He goes, walking, not driving in your car or even driving on your bike, but walking. Walking and feeling, literally just feeling and seeing people. Listen, he says, walking is a totally different experience. Let me the example. Let me put it this way. All right, our town is about 5 miles from here. The local town, the shopping, the Price Chopper, and all that, gas station, bank. Now, it's a totally different experience for me to walk to Price Chopper than to take my car. Now, what could happen? Sure, it'll take an hour and a half or 2 hours. You run into people, you literally feel the earth, the breeze, you see things you would not see if you were driving. You look, oh, look at that house, and look at that, and look at as I was talking about wildlife, and. So I thought that was really interesting. Reading books and walking, I mean, being on foot, I think he said. So let me get right into the first thing. I'll talk about walking and being on foot and all that. But let me go back to the importance of reading. When I was a freshman in college, by the way, I majored in journalism, and I took, was it English 101 or Literature, Lit 101, and my teacher, and his name was Don Edwards, said, very first class, and he gave us the syllabus and the books we'd be reading. I still remember. I know it was Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby. I know he liked Vincent Van Gogh, so it was what's his name? Irving's Lust for Life. Is that John Irving? I don't know, whatever. But the book is Lust for Life, and then Hemingway and Faulkner. And he said, these are great books, read these, but you know what? What's most important is I want you to get excited about literature. I want you to get excited about reading. Like, I don't really, like, listen, get a good grade. I don't even care if you get a C, whatever. I hope you take something. But the thing I want you to take from this class is to get excited about reading. Like, the stuff you read after this semester is what's most important. It's a lifetime thing, reading. and that stuck with me. So before that class, so I'm 18 years old, right? Freshman year in college, I'm 18 years old. The only thing I read before then was Sports Illustrated, like outside. Of course, you had your schoolwork, a little bit of textbooky stuff, but never novels. At the time, 18, I read every week Sports Illustrated and maybe some professional wrestling magazines, you know, stuff that was fun to me. Um, and and I really didn't get it too much into the comic book stuff. My friends did. Comic books are cool too, but really Sports Illustrated. And my first real serious book that I read was Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger. So that was good. But anyway, after that, I was off to the races. So right now, I am 56 years old, and I spend at least a minimum of 2 hours a day reading, usually more, like 3, 4. I set up, and reading is the most important thing I do. And I don't just read the paper or on the internet or whatever. I do that, but I read books, and I make sure that I read not only nonfiction, but fiction. Always have fiction. I mean, if you look at my deck here, I only have about 20 something books here on my deck. Downstairs, my library, I have thousands and thousands of books that I read and reread. And some books I haven't gotten to yet, but it's a goal. And people ask me, like, hey, listen, I only have a bachelor's degree. I have a degree in journalism, and I used to work in the pharmaceutical and biotech industries. I was a recruiter, actually, clinical research. But people say, are you a physician? Do you know all this? Like, how do you know? I'm like, no. I just read a lot, you know? So, okay, the importance of reading. I hope you enjoyed that, people. Have a great day. Beautiful day here in the Catskills. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.